What a night of basketball it was as the Chicago Sky faced off against the Indiana Fever in a high-stakes battle that had fans on the edge of their seats from start to finish. With rising stars like Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese leading their squads, this wasn't just a regular season game. It was a showdown packed with energy, intensity, and a whole lot of heart. Both teams came into this matchup hungry for a win, and what unfolded was nothing short of spectacular. Whether you were rooting for the home team or watching as a neutral fan, this game delivered drama, grit, and unforgettable moments. Let's dive into the action and relive the biggest highlights from this thrilling contest. The game tipped off with both teams looking sharp and aggressive right out of the gate. Indiana Fever wasted no time, with Caitlin Clark setting the tone early by knocking down a deep three on the opening possession. Chicago Sky answered quickly, with Marina Mabrey slicing through the defense for a strong finish at the rim. The tempo was high, and both squads were trading buckets in the first few minutes. Kelsey Mitchell added to the Fever's momentum with a smooth pull-up jumper, while Elizabeth Williams anchored Chicago's defense with a big block that energized her team. Despite Indiana's strong start, Chicago began to find their rhythm midway through the quarter, using quick ball movement and second chance points to keep things close. By the end of the first quarter, the score remained tight, with both teams showing flashes of brilliance and setting the stage for a back-and-forth battle. As the second quarter began, the intensity only grew. Chicago came out with renewed energy, led by Angel Reese, who dominated the boards and created second-chance opportunities. She muscled her way inside for a tough end-one finish that brought the crowd to its feet. On the other end, Caitlin Clark continued to orchestrate Indiana's offense with poise, dishing out sharp assists and knocking down another deep three to silence the momentum. The Fever started to tighten up defensively, forcing turnovers and converting them into fast break points. Alyssa Smith stepped up with a pair of mid-range jumpers that kept Indiana in the lead, but Chicago responded with a scoring burst of their own, thanks to Dana Evans, who provided a much-needed spark off the bench. As the clock ticked toward halftime, both teams were locked in a fierce exchange of runs, trading baskets, and diving for loose balls. The second quarter closed with Indiana holding a narrow lead, but the game still felt wide open, with neither side able to fully pull away. At the half, the scoreboard reflected just how competitive this game had been, Indiana Fever holding a slim advantage in what was shaping up to be a classic. Caitlin Clark led the Fever with 12 points and 5 assists, controlling the pace and making her presence felt on both ends. Alyssa Smith added 9 points and 6 rebounds, providing stability inside the paint. For Chicago, Angel Reese was once again the anchor, recording 10 points and 8 rebounds by halftime, nearly securing another double-double before the break. Marina Mabrey chipped in with timely shooting, and Chicago's bench contributed key minutes to keep things balanced. Both teams were shooting efficiently from the field, but Indiana's edge came from better transition execution and ball movement. Still, with just a few points separating them, it was clear that the second half would come down to focus, adjustments, and who wanted it more. The third quarter began with both teams refusing to back down, turning the game into a physical, high-energy battle. Chicago Sky came out swinging, led by Angel Reese, who continued to dominate the glass and added 2 quick putbacks to close the gap. Marina Mabrey caught fire from beyond the arc, hitting back-to-back threes that gave Chicago their first lead of the game. But Indiana responded with composure. Caitlin Clark stayed aggressive, drawing fouls and sinking free throws while also threading pinpoint passes through tight lanes. The Fever's front court, with Alyssa Smith and Aliyah Boston, started to impose their presence, scoring inside and protecting the rim. Both teams traded leads throughout the quarter, with the pace picking up and the crowd roaring with every big play. A late steal by Chicago followed by a fast break layup helped them inch ahead, but the Fever answered right before the buzzer with a smooth jumper from Kelsey Mitchell, tying the game heading into the final quarter. With the game tied heading into the fourth, both teams elevated their intensity, knowing the next 10 minutes would decide everything. Indiana struck first, as Caitlin Clark hit a step-back three that reignited the Fever's momentum. Kelsey Mitchell followed up with a tough drive through traffic, finishing through contact to give Indiana a slight edge. But Chicago refused to let up. Angel Reese battled in the paint, securing crucial offensive rebounds and drawing fouls to keep her team within striking distance. Marina Mabrey hit another big three, bringing the Sky crowd to life and tying the game once more. As the minutes ticked down, every possession became critical. Both teams locked in defensively, forcing tough shots and capitalizing on small mistakes. With just under 2 minutes to play, Dana Evans nailed a clutch jumper off the dribble to give Chicago a brief lead, but Indiana quickly answered with a baseline floater from Alyssa Smith. The final moments of regulation were filled with tension, setting the stage for a dramatic finish that would come down to execution and nerves. In the final minute, the pressure was sky-high and every move counted. With the score tied and the shot clock winding down, Caitlin Clark took control, isolating at the top of the key. She drove hard to her left, pulled up, and buried a cold-blooded mid-range jumper to give Indiana the lead. Chicago had one last chance to respond, and they put the ball in Marina Mabrey's hands. She created space with a slick crossover and let it fly from deep, but the shot rimmed out. Angel Reese grabbed the offensive rebound and was fouled, stepping to the line with a chance to tie it. She calmly hit the first, but missed the second, and the Fever secured the rebound. Forced to foul, Chicago watched as Kelsey Mitchell stepped to the line and iced the game with 2 perfect free throws. As the final buzzer sounded, Indiana Fever emerged victorious in a tightly contested battle that went down to the wire, capping off a thrilling night of WNBA action. When the dust settled, Indiana Fever walked away with a hard-fought win, edging out the Chicago Sky in one of the most competitive games of the season. Caitlin Clark once again led the charge for Indiana, finishing with 24 points, 7 assists, and 4 rebounds, showcasing her leadership in clutch moments. Kelsey Mitchell added 18 points, including those crucial free throws that sealed the victory. Alyssa Smith contributed a solid 14 points and 10 rebounds, recording a well-earned double-double. On the other side, Angel Reese was relentless, putting up 20 points and 15 rebounds. Her physicality and hustle kept Chicago in the game until the very end. Marina Mabrey added 17 points, including some big-time shots from beyond the arc, while Dana Evans chipped in with 11 off the bench. Statistically, both teams shot close to 45% from the field, but
Nurse will fire and hit on a team. There's a chance that gets changed to a 3. Mitchell looking to respond and does. Allen
responds the other way.
Here's Mitchell wheeling through. Mitchell into the paint, able to lay it in. It's the Kelsey. After the starters had struggled at the beginning of the quarter. Here's Hull spinning, dishing. Timpson able to finish. Chicago had cut it to 2. Poked away by Timpson. There's the deflection. Off to the races. Timpson finishes strong. Forcing a time. To the corner. Timpson, 7 to shoot. Timpson falls, and Michaela Timpson, I believe they're going to say this is on the shot. Wasn't called, knocked away. 5 to shoot. Colson on the drive. Great dish to Timpson for 2. 6 shooting off the bench. Banham fires and hits again for 6. Banham, bump from behind, pulls up and drains it. 20. Williams got fouled by Timpson. Cardoso, here's Allen. Turning the corner and finger rolls it in.
Seen Beckett hot on screens.
9-point game. Chicago trying to answer back. Here's Boston. Sky need a stop. They wait at the scores table. Hull backdoor. Flips it out. Cunningham wide open. She got. Indy's starting forwards were 0 for 9 before that make. Williams able to sneak it in. Gathered by Chicago. A 14th turnover. Here's Allen. She got it. On it.
Third week in August provides a few more practice days where that seems like it's realistic, and while she does remain day-to-day, that seems...
Thank you, Holly, for the information. Obviously, everybody can't wait to see Caitlin Clark back out on the floor, but you can't have it ends up being. Allen launches. She got it. Things tightening at United Center. Mitchell has it deflected, gets it back, and hit to her left. Mitchell gets fouled and will go to the line to shoot 2.
That was all. You got to see exactly what I'm talking about. She was just determined to get to the bucket.
Now, in case you're wondering, Mitchell's role as a shot going back up. Our next WNBA game tomorrow. Kelsey, Sabrina, paying a bit. Colson gives it up to Timpson. Timpson got some space and able to. It's the rival Sky. 93-78.